something for you, do you? Anything else?
Steve's all the papillons and all.
Come back.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. All done?
do you split? The sea. You reckon?
Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy? Come on. Run like the wind. Thanks, Gal. That's like no chocobo I've ever seen. Something tells me it won't be easily broken.
Why?
Welcome. You've a keen eye. I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
Let's go. Run like the wind. You deserve a rest. That's what I think it is. This isn't gonna be easy. Let's try. Rest well. I know I will. Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia. You deserve a rest. Well, Clive, looks like you're gonna need an even bigger sword. Should have stayed in its shell. work here is done.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them.
split the sea.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of papionas and all.
What do I owe the honor? So, will it be? Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. Anything else?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. Come again. I may... I have more for you.
How are you doing? Here you go.
There were ghosts at the gates, not Daisy.
Those things I said before.
Oh, Clive. My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Card.
The High Card?
Leader, not
He would rob?
the and
I'll see what I can tell you. Or... I may have met this duke before. At the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to...
Ah, you are worried the expanded garrison will render yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself, pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution, but no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt,
Why here you are?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles, which is more than can be said for Oriflamme. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town, and we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the... Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures... Should they...
If Sandbreak... That so that...
The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own...
Sabine, we have...
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be... Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine.
As long as you remain.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
All right there. What is it you're after?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Not much. None of us. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'll be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Why, your stall is...
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
A question. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers? Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies. I mean, look around us. You can... The traders might not like having the screws put on them, But if they've volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gifts, I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me, listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look at. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife. And if the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards.
As long as you remain, the Vale is...
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sandbreck is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you love.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either.
And she's probably... Thank you, Clive. And protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty called. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sambrak, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together. With you to lead us, milady. I reckon it was you who finally convinced me. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you...
Indeed.
All of us. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must...
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind.
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach, especially with men like you and Philippe. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid. Until then, Clive.
Until then... What's happened? Cards at the gate.
Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican Army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army jumped at the chance.
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all.
El? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over. This isn't over. The consort... I'm going to Randall...
Alone?
Well, it looks like I'm following up from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for... She means to stay with us then. I can't say...
You have to trust...
You're right. And if El's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my... You go to...
All right. To Randalar, then. And better not keep Eloise waiting.
I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road.
When are they gonna let us through?
Let's go. to fight. Straight home now. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers we had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves. And then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own
So you...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely.
Hello. Word from Cashlock. The village, a pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo.
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
Ready, girl?
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
No mistakes.
I've got a new design for a blade.
Not here.
But what if the Akashic come again?
Then we'll give them another taste.
No use calling Ambrosia now. Come on. To the stables, girl. Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village. But the whole area's flooded with
You just have to pray he makes it out in one...
I can do better than that. Ambrosia won't help me here. Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia. Where are you, Theo? Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. Titan! Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
And so will you!
Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore, wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put...
And now he's gone, because I sent him to that place. Again.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the...
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses, and I was chosen to inherit the... I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. A late bloomer. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables before they could.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery, but he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be and devoted myself to the family. left. I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night, and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice again. He was never a burden. How, if anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. That he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted was so we could be together, Theo. I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people. I need nothing more, so I'll carry on doing what we do. Ensuring that goods, people, bringing smiles to people's faces, just like and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you. Let's go on together, then.
Eloise isn't the type to give up.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might...
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to Have you learned anything of note since last...
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is... Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every...
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix...
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft cited among the remnants, as if protecting the secrets concealed.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right.
They will be most gratified. Might I suggest you take the road through Tight? It will lead you straight to the village, after but a short walk.
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing. Good girl.
surrounded.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
Thanks, girl. Oh no. You'll pay for this. There may still be survivors. You're finished. Whatever that thing is. Say it's their leader. Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
You are returned, my lord.
Here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I...
Cyril, your survey part losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete their work, were these your orders?
No. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole...
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. And your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their life. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve. Please.
I thank you. If you will permit me to respond. Our faith in his grace, and we of the Undying, will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty as first shield to the Phoenix. I am sure you understand.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that...
Everything's back the way it was.
Fresh silks from the Canberra caravan.
Take that, you naughty...
Clive!
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized, just as the good Lady Jane and Lord
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken... But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over...
May there...
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united... And they have formed what one could call a League of Out... And they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time. No matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the... Our best hope is to nip these efforts at by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid.
How could I refuse?
Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such...
I'll go and speak.
What's the difference between a lord and a
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah,
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came... I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me fight.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with... There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon, at as many camps as we can.
All right.
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the...
Leave it with me.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
Finished.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid. Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but...
No. Something's happened.
What is it?
The whole town's in saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt and without a crystal...
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No, still... all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs...
You're right.
And now I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound...
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried, but we just couldn't
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two...
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something. And convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted...
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the... I can't promise anything, but...
And that is all I can...
Why are you taking the bearers? Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
I knew all along that...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
I've seen your face...
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants. The rumors that he's a bearer.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the... In this at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our back.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people, and they will thank you not to get him.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to...
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see...
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers? I assume the situation...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime. I think it's fair.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. That will talk some sense into them in the end. You'll see.
No. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection of yourself be true. That was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that I'll need to make a suit.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who has ever cut. We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. What?
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their...
I would not take it, Victor.
Over. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children... I thought you were better than this, but it seems you had me fooled.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you...
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. A reward for... Right then.
If there's anything I can do...
I'll bear it in mind.
Clive, I was just about to say, I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to. As of those poor bearers, they've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's, and if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely...
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I'd there. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool, they ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right, and they're just about better.
I'll take your word.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. I'll go up there and...
I'm sure you would.
Ah, what brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, but they'd long since gone to seed. Only...
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a... These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The Horde is close. They're coming, Sir Wade. All of them.
Damn it all. I thought we'd have... Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcement.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde?
A Kashek. A veritable legion of them. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be...
Now you're out of...
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may...
What if you could call on reinforcements?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die, fighting for the...
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men, though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians? What help they are able to offer could still...
You're right, my lord. I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village, your home.
you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love...
Lord Rossfield, my lady.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These, upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm convert with luck. That point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must do. We work together. Everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall. For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do it.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of...
Lord Rossfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride.
Well, the better half of... So wait, how many Akashic...
Hard to say. My men are still facing some I could order a detachment or two to form.
No. Let them finish the... You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're... May the Founder protect you.
Next one's mine. I might
not here. Let's go.
Faster!
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield, the curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And we were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet. I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved Eastpool.
No, Sir Wade. You brought us together. Showed us what it...
We never had nothing to call our own before. But now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your peoples, but there's no doubt in my mind, we're free men now. So we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours. To protect...
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or anything...
They'll have us to answer.
Come on, then.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he were still with us today, this
I believe you might.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild. After all, this is my home now, too. And I could hardly call myself an...
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight, too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course. And I'll be counting on yours. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, eh?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden State. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marsh? There's one sight that I shall never forget. You. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up, when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eye to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage.
So, Wade, you have always been a true... I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in...
The hero It's lucky you came by when you... Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved it.
I just did what I...
And it's only right that you get reward. Take it before...
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back and a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different. You know, bearers living free like that. Loath as I am to recall that particular day. Well, if you really want to know, I started... In fact, that's how I met him. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt. Poking around at me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work, told me I was giving them relief but not freedom. Got right under my skin it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could book. And do you know what he did? And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need...
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed, but the loftier one's ambitions. The heart, which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid...
Suppose you're right, and if we don't manage it... There's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the way. It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope. Anyway, I'd better get back to work. Let's see about make the least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve as a hot meal. And
that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Come back.
the stew's awfully
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
It's a wonder they made it back at all. Like when Logan was there.
help, you said?
I'm looking for Doris.
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was,
Did she? What?
Following up on some... Once they'd settled...
That's not... Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried. Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Just because the heavens have gone to Reckoning.
Anything catch your eye? Take care out there, eh? Anything catch your eye? There you go. Much obliged.
Nearly done.
Doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure, Doris.
Sid, what brings you to Martha's...
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slave...
Of course.
No.
I'd see...
Did I... Good. How did Doris come to know a slave?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready?
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lack wits. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more, and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes.
Oh, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I surrender. Do with me as you wish.
Sid.
Ah, Doris. You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin.
I'm sorry, Sid. This was...
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be, and
Then I should head back to the hideaway and put coal.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived.
Oh,
so this she can't you and keep.
Covered in nicks and lumps.
How was she? The Enterprise, I mean.
Ah, Sid.
Don't tell me.
Oh, no. I'm working on bringing enough... It's got a reverberatory hood over the top that, let's just say, only myth trouble it. And
If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be happy.
oh,
So,
we've got a couple of examples here.
more fallen material. So this smelter is similar to the mithril engine in more...
That's right. They're a... They're...